The interstellar object 3I/Atlas represents far more than just another celestial body drifting through our solar system. It is a profound reminder of the vastness and mystery of the universe beyond our familiar planetary neighborhood. As it enters the inner regions of our solar system, this large and relatively bright object becomes accessible not only to ground-based telescopes on Earth, but also to the powerful cameras aboard orbiters and spacecraft that humanity has placed throughout the ecliptic plane. Its path, conveniently aligned with the plane of the planets, grants us a rare and extended opportunity to study it in ways that were impossible with previous interstellar visitors, such as 1I/Oumuamua or 2I/Borisov, both of which passed by at far less favorable angles and for much shorter periods. This extended window of observation offers scientists, engineers, and even amateur astronomers a unique chance to monitor an interstellar object in unprecedented detail. Yet the scientific value of 3I/Atlas extends beyond the mere collection of astronomical data. Its very presence offers an extraordinary cultural and educational opportunity, a chance to ignite curiosity, to stimulate the imagination of the public, and to inspire a new generation of young learners to pursue scientific inquiry. Science, at its heart, nurtures the same sense of wonder that drives children to ask questions, to explore, and to remain open to the unknown. Too often in adulthood, we slip into the illusion of expertise, assuming we already know the answers and no longer need to ask questions. But real science thrives not on arrogance, but on humility. The humility to acknowledge that we do not yet know everything, that the universe is far larger and stranger than our current understanding, and that every new observation brings the possibility of being surprised. Objects like 3I/Atlas invite us to return to that mindset of curiosity, to approach the cosmos as a grand mystery waiting to be deciphered through careful attention, evidence, and open-mindedness. In recent years, many public figures and online commentators have misconstrued the essence of science. Influencers often portray scientific authority as rigid or dogmatic, as though scientists claim to possess final answers. In reality, science is an evolving detective story, one in which hypotheses are proposed, tested, and constantly refined or replaced as new evidence emerges. This process includes making mistakes, correcting them, and moving forward with improved understanding. To participate meaningfully in science is to accept uncertainty, not as a weakness, but as a natural and essential part of discovery. Every breakthrough in history has come from questioning assumptions, challenging old paradigms, and sometimes entertaining ideas that initially seem far-fetched. It is within this honest framework that discussions about 3I/Atlas take place. Because humanity itself has filled space with satellites, probes, and technological debris over the past several decades, we already know that not everything orbiting the sun is a natural rock or comet. This simple fact forces us to adopt a humble perspective when encountering something unfamiliar from outside our solar system. If we have sent technology into space, we cannot dismiss the possibility, however remote, that other civilizations elsewhere in the Milky Way might have done the same long before us. Considering such possibilities is not science fiction, but rather a responsible acknowledgement of what is physically and technologically plausible in a galaxy filled with planets and stars far older than the sun. Earlier today, a reporter from Reuters asked me a question that reflects a broader public curiosity. The European Space Agency told Reuters that your discussion of 3I/Atlas as a potential extraterrestrial entity is theoretical in nature. Is that your intention? If not, if your intention is to prove that it is an extraterrestrial entity, could you further clarify? The question highlights a common misunderstanding about the scientific method. It is not the role of scientists to prematurely prove extraordinary claims without sufficient evidence. Instead, our role is to examine anomalies, phenomena that do not neatly fit into existing frameworks, and to develop theoretical interpretations that help guide further investigation. In my response, I clarified that science often begins not with certainty, but with curiosity about the unexpected. When an observation appears inconsistent with what we predicted or assumed based on previous knowledge, we must explore multiple interpretations, even those that challenge established thinking. These interpretations serve as working hypotheses, provisional ideas meant to inspire deeper inquiry and more precise data collection. Over time, as new measurements accumulate, we can eliminate incorrect explanations and gradually converge toward the one that best matches the evidence. This systematic narrowing of possibilities is how science progresses. So far, I have identified 10 notable anomalies associated with 3I/Atlas, all of which I have summarized elsewhere. These anomalies do not prove that 3I/Atlas is artificial, but they raise legitimate scientific questions that deserve investigation. They motivated my suggestion that we should at least consider the possibility that the object may be an extraterrestrial technological artifact, something manufactured rather than naturally formed. This idea may sound bold, but it is grounded in reason. Most stars in the Milky Way are billions of years older than our Sun, meaning that civilizations elsewhere, if they exist, could have arisen long before humanity and could easily have had enough time to develop technologies capable of crossing interstellar distances. To place this in perspective, our own Voyager spacecraft, launched in the 1970s, will cross the entire Milky Way disk in less than a billion years, even though it is traveling at a tiny fraction of the speed of light. If a technologically advanced civilization had existed even a modest amount of time before us, it could have filled the galaxy with probes, sensors, or other artifacts. My personal hope is that the data gathered in the coming weeks and months, especially around December 19, 2025, when 3I/Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth, will provide decisive clues about its true nature. This will be a pivotal moment because its proximity will allow a range of instruments to observe it with far greater clarity than ever before. We may be able to analyze its composition, rotation, reflectivity, thermal properties, outgassing behavior, or even its response to solar radiation. Each of these factors could help distinguish between a natural object, such as a comet or asteroid, and something that might have an engineered structure or artificial components. The anticipation surrounding this date reflects both excitement and caution. We hope for fascinating discoveries, but we also recognize the need to avoid jumping to conclusions. And at a more whimsical level, I have joked that we simply hope 3I/Atlas does not deliver any unwanted gifts during the holiday season, a reminder that humor also has its place in scientific discourse. The global reaction to the discussion surrounding 3I/Atlas has been overwhelming. People from many countries and backgrounds have reached out to express their fascination, curiosity, and gratitude for bringing attention to this extraordinary visitor from beyond our solar system. Among the many messages I received today, several hundred in total, 3 stood out as particularly heartfelt examples of how deeply the public resonates with the idea that science is an adventure, a journey of discovery that belongs to everyone. People appreciate being invited to join this process, to wonder alongside scientists rather than simply being handed conclusions from afar. This enthusiasm is precisely what keeps the scientific spirit alive. When the public feels included in the detective story of the universe, science becomes not just a profession, but a shared human experience. The arrival of 3I/Atlas reminds us that we are not isolated observers in a static universe. Instead, we are participants in a dynamic, evolving cosmic environment where surprises can appear at any moment. Each new discovery, each anomaly, each unexplained object challenges us to look beyond old assumptions and to remain open to the possibility that something extraordinary may be waiting just around the corner. Whether 3I/Atlas turns out to be a natural interstellar fragment or something artificial, its visit has already succeeded in reinvigorating public interest in space exploration, scientific humility, and the profound mystery of our place in the cosmos. And this, perhaps, is the greatest gift it could offer us: